uh, folks that are watching the podcast, man. We truly appreciate you guys tuning into the podcast and really, and staying in the comments on YouTube. We appreciate y'all doing that, man. So definitely, and if you are watching this and you are not subscribed, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, man. We appreciate anybody just following with us along um, um, at the Dime Golf Podcast, man. So guys, wild card weekend is over. We had two coaches, OC and a head coach. Let's start with Mike Tomlin in uh, in Pittsburgh. When I was looking at this, and I know a couple Steelers fans, and I'm thinking for the last 5 years at least, with the Steelers fans that I know, they've been complaining about Mike Tomlin. I mean, like truly, like literally complaining about this guy. Like, man, I don't know if he could get us over the hump. It's always one and done, or we just close enough and don't make the playoffs. And it's this over and over and over again. Mike Tomlin has been in a staple there for 19 years. He's kept the organization stable. He just never really, after Big Ben, he never really had a QB. It didn't have a
Right.
QB, and then he had crazy receivers. And trying to handle all of that. But I thought he was going to stay on. But I think as a coach, you hear it, man. You living there, you living in the city. You hear what people are saying all the time. And from my understanding, the people in Pittsburgh were just tired of it. Got old and it got stale. And at least the Steelers fans I know complaining about Mike Tomlin for quite some time. I'm familiar with this situation, sort of kind of familiar like with Andy Reid when Andy was in Philly, and yeah, we go into NFC Championship games. We get into the divisional round and we may lose, and one year we may not make it, but then you come back and you go to the NFC Championship. So Andy was always there, always somewhere. However, it did get to a point where Andy's comments in the press conference, Andy, how he approached the team, the words he said, it just got repetitive. It got stale. And really, from my perspective, it was time for him to go. So I don't know if the fans in Pittsburgh have felt the same way. I'm assuming this is how they felt. They just wanted to change. Now, this is the thing. Are they going to regret get rid of? I mean, I'm talking from a fan perspective. I know Mike Tomlin actually stepped down, but I want to get you guys insight on that for real. Like, what's your take on Tomlin? Just saying, you know what, I'm good. I'm gonna go in another direction. What y'all got to say about this?
So when you coach 19 years in a league that is hell bent on parity, everything is to try to make you have a bad season the next season, and you never have a losing season, you are a really good head coach. Now, can he take a 6-10 team and win a Super Bowl with it? No, but he's taken 6-10 teams and had them end up 10-6. So he's gonna coach if he wants to coach next year. He'll coach next year. If he just wants to go become an analyst, he'll do whatever he want to do. Right. I think the question is once Roethlisberger went and the team was still being always competing to make the playoffs, may not win in the playoffs, but making the playoffs. It's like, okay, he can coach. It wasn't Roethlisberger that was carrying Mike Tomlin. You're now in a situation where you're in this no man's land of you're not so good you win championships, but you're not so bad you're getting the generational quarterback for the top three or top five pick in the draft. And unless you have a really, really, really good GM who will finagle picks and parlay picks to get that person, or a really great scouting department to get that person end of the first round, a la, Lamar Jackson with the Ravens, you in a situation. You're getting 20, 25, 30. second, third round quarterbacks, and if your scouting department, your GMs, etc., aren't amazing, you don't have that much to work with from that most important position. They're not going out and getting guys like the Rams did, trying to get Stafford to upgrade from Goff, right? You had mentioned Lincoln about Andy Reid in Philly. Could you imagine Andy Reid the last 5 years with Roseman as his GM?
Yeah.
And the talent that Andy that the Eagles have on defense now with Andy, right? But at that point in time, that's not what the GM was doing. That's not what Andy was all about.
No.
It got, as I said, it got stale, right? And in Pittsburgh, it's like there's only so many speeches, there's only so much men we can do this. Folks will take when they're not seeing those additional results. Winning is a great deodorant. So I think what's going to be critical, probably actually more so for the Steelers than Mike Tomlin, is the Steelers typically let their coaches coach. They don't turn folks over quickly. So if they don't have a good coach, how long is that dude going to be there? And how long are Pittsburgh fans going to suffer? Because they are a very high IQ fan base. But when I say they spoiled, making the playoffs and losing in the first round doesn't hit the bar, right? Like they have higher expectations than that. And they have generations to be like, hey, we got multiple championships, multiple head coaches. That's their expectation. So who's the guy coming in? Because you now got to be better than 10-7 every year. So
yeah, dog. No, those are some good takes. Let me see if I can delve into that a little bit more. So the fan base in Pittsburgh, they're definitely intelligent. Like there's a really, really smart, football savvy fan base in Pittsburgh. But like a certain level of consistency breeds, a certain level of entitlement, right? So when you're consistently making it to the playoffs, right, but not getting over that hump, the entitlement is, hey, you're not doing enough, as opposed to like being a Browns fan, right? As opposed to being a Cardinals fan. You're not sniffing the playoffs,
we
right?
making the
Year after
playoffs
year
every
after
year.
year, right? So you making the playoffs every year, but now it gets to a point because it's a consistent thing. It's like your norm, right? You have 19-year-olds, right? Pittsburgh fans who don't know anything but go into the playoffs,
Playoffs.
Yeah.
right? That's
Right.
all they know.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
go to the playoffs every year. This ain't enough.
Right.
They don't know nothing about being
That's
three
all we
and winning only 3 games, winning only 4 games. Where they do that at, right? Like that's foreign to them.
Right.
So that's the entitlement. And now it's like, hey, we can do better than this. It's not that easy. I do agree that Tomlin should have figured out a way to get over that hump with that level of consistency. And I think where the problem lies, in as much as Tomlin is a really good coach, I think where he suffered was being an evaluator of talent, both from on his coaching staff and with his player personnel. Okay, you talked about the wide receiver. They've had a litany of troubled wide receivers over the years. Super talented, but troubled. Some of them were just cancers in the locker room. And then on top of that, you could never get the quarterback situation right after Ben. And you've had ample time to do that. So you had Ben Roethlisberger, which he inherited, by the way.
Yeah.
So he had no stake in bringing Ben in. He inherited Ben and rode that until Ben, until he retired.
Yeah.
But after Ben left, you've had, how long has it been? It's almost 10 years,
True.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
So after Ben left, you couldn't find, you should have been able to find, with the resources that you've had. I understand that you've been, some people say that he was a victim of his own success because they were drafting so high due to the fact that they kept making the playoffs. But as Doc said, package some of those picks, package some of those future picks, and trade down to get someone who you feel could be of a better quality or caliber player for that particular position.
Right.
They've never done that. They never roll the dice. They don't take risks. And then the people that they did bring in at the quarterback position, they don't pan out.
Yeah.
Okay. And then when we talk about the coaching staff, right? Ben had Todd Haley, and Todd Haley was a really good coach,
Yeah.
offensive coordinator.
OC, yeah.
Then he left, I think, to be the Cardinals coach at the time.
Hmm.
But since Haley left, they had Randy Fichtner, Matt Canada, Arthur Smith.
Yeah, that's tough.
They're not good. They're not great offensive coordinators.
No.
And these are guys that are handpicked by Tomlin.
Yeah.
So he did a poor job picking offensive coordinators since Todd Haley, and he did not properly evaluate the quarterback position, nor take any risk in trading up to get a premium prospect, sacrificing future picks.
Right.
So when you play it safe like that, you're going to end up just getting stuck at where you're at, which again, he's not mediocre. He's just good enough. And with the entitlement of the fan base, at some point, you want to proceed, you want to progress, you want to get higher than that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't blame them. I really don't blame them for just getting sick and tired of being sick and tired of the same old.
Yeah.
After being one, and I think to Tomlin's credit, I think he was like, man, this ain't working.
Right.
One and done again.
Yeah.
And he just offed himself. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna resign. Obviously, I'm not getting this right. I gotta figure something else out.
Yeah.
And I'm continuing to drag the organization through the same rotation. I'm gonna break the cycle, and I'm the problem. I'm gonna take myself out and let them figure out how to progress without me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a question that I got for you guys. Do you think, given that, say he goes to coach somewhere else, could he be successful somewhere else? I mean, like, is he that kind of a coach where he can go somewhere else and look at all the teams that are on the table right now that need a head coach? Can he go to one of these teams and really be successful? And if so, like, what team would you guys think he would be a good fit for?
The Baltimore
problem is-
Ravens.
Boy,
Could you imagine?
oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be really, really funny, right? The irony of that. But no, but a lot of the teams that currently need head coaches don't have much in the cupboard, and or they don't have a franchise quarterback, right? Like of all the teams currently, and I'm excluding Pittsburgh, of course. Baltimore has talent,
Yeah.
and they got a really good quarterback, right? And it may not be his guy, but Tom is a good enough head coach. They'll make it work. Now, to what Lee was saying, I think this time through, he's going to need to bring in good coordinators that can, in terms of plays, formations, mismatches, maximize the talent that they have. But in terms of landing spot, Baltimore's the best landing spot. I don't think the Giants are bad. They're probably 2 years away if they can get Jackson Dart to actually, be smart with his body and not try to play linebacker at quarterback.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's a good head coach, right?
Yeah.
Arizona would love him. just to have
Don't go
to have a stable head coach. I wouldn't want him to go to Arizona. No offense to Arizona fans, but yeah.
I think, jokes. I mean, I really do think the Ravens would be the perfect fit for him, but that's never going to happen. And the Ravens, their owner actually talked about it when he was having his press conference. The news broke, and they made him aware of the situation in real time, and his response was hilarious. If you get a chance, go and watch it.
Okay.
But but Baltimore aside, Titans. Right. When you talk about making a team better, now I'm not saying he's going to go there and make them a Super Bowl team,
Right.
but he could get to the playoffs with that team,
Yeah.
with that quarterback.
Yeah.
He definitely could do that.
Yeah.
Right. So
Okay. Yeah. That's not bad.
And to that point, Lee, if I had to hitch my wagon, and my choices were Cam Ward or Jackson Dart, I'm going Cam Ward.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, because I agree because based on how Jackson Dart is playing right now, and like you said, Lee, you guys both said this is how he been playing, and he said this is how
From
he been playing.
college.
He not
Yeah.
gonna last long. He is not gonna last long. So yeah. All right. I want to address Kevin Patullo. I want to address Nick Sirianni. But first, let me address Kevin Patullo. Kevin, you were put in a position with a team and offense that is like a Ferrari. But your skills were not up to par. I mean, when you looked at this offense in the offseason, you had your key to turn on this engine and it didn't fit. Didn't fit, Kevin. And now you and Nick Sirianni, y'all call yourself the Bash Brothers, decided you deserve this position at OC. You've never called a play in your life. You've never schemed up anything based on what we saw. You were just plain vanilla. You didn't know how to make any adjustments. You didn't know what you were doing on the field in Philadelphia with all of these players, the highest paid offense in the league. You got two 1,000-yard wide receivers. You got previously a 2,000-yard running back, over 1,000 this year. You got a tight end that he just caught the most touchdowns in Philadelphia Eagles history as in a season. Mm-hmm. And you got a quarterback that won you guys the Super Bowl last year and was Super Bowl MVP and knows how to play, I'd say, a top 10 quarterback in the NFL when they have a professional and a quality offensive coordinator. Kevin Patullo, the guys came and they egged your house. You should have known, Nick Sirianni, let me address you real quick. You should have known from week 2, Nick Sirianni, that your boy Kevin Patullo was not fit for this position. What you did, you had your same old stale, and think about this now. Think about this. Nick Sirianni really never was an OC, but really never called any plays in Indianapolis. So for one, I don't even know how he got this job, but anyway, you saw from his first press conference, but anyway, they stacked the team. Howie Roseman stacked the team around him. I could have gone there and been the head coach and won a Super Bowl because you didn't have to do nothing. But you took your offense that really isn't an offense. This is like high school. Hey, man, go out there and run and then turn around. Hey, and you go up and then just go to the left. Because that's all they were doing every single day. Why is Saquon Barkley running up the middle on first down, on second down, and on third down? Why? This does not make any sense. Kevin Patullo, I hate to say this. Because I don't like to see people lose their jobs. But in this case, Kevin Patullo, you had to go. Look, I was in a dilemma. And my dilemma was, if we kept winning, then we would have to put up with you, Kevin Patullo. And I would rather lose and be done and be out of the playoffs. You would think at this point I would be distraught. And I was a smidge distraught. Nobody wants to lose, all right? But at the same time, I was elated because I knew that you would be gone. I know this is tough. This is tough to hear. And Nick Sirianni, the blame falls at your feet because what this shows is that you put your allegiance to your friend over the team. And you know what that tells me? If I was Jeffrey Lurie, you should have been gone too. You shouldn't be coming back because there's no way as a head coach, if you see something's not working, that you keep this going. and you kept it going the entire season. 18 weeks of the same thing. How? That's insanity. That is straight insanity. So you know what? I'm a Twin side, but I'm more happy. Today was like it was like Christmas Day all over again. When I realized that Kevin Patullo, I was looking at my phone. Like after the game, I was just looking at my phone, waiting for the text to come out. I was waiting to see Adam Schefter. Let me tell you, I don't know. I think I was driving in my car today when I saw the Adam Schefter text come across that Kevin Patullo had got fired. I had to pull over on the side of the road, man. I had to pull over and rejoice because this was a day that will go down in history that Kevin Patullo is no longer with the Philadelphia Eagles. I don't want you in the organization. You don't even need your parking spot need to be erased. Everything you don't even need. There should be no semblance of Kevin Patullo anywhere in Philadelphia. You got to go.
They keeping him on the staff though.
No.
He's staying on the staff, Links.
We can't have him.
You got to keep the parking spot. He's still gonna be in the building.
We can't have him on the staff, man. I pray. And which article was that? Which article was that? Because I need to go look that up. I need to go look that up. And
I'll send it to you.
Send that to me. Send that to me, man. Because I need to figure. I'm gonna dig down personally myself and figure this out. If I got to call Jeffrey Lurie myself and Howie myself and say, look at me.
Per the Philadelphia Inquirer, there's still a chance.
Boy,
Dumb and Dumber, there's still a chance he remains on staff with the Eagles.
Look here. Let me tell you, that dude need to be in a. If he were the Eagles, he need to be in a closet somewhere. Nowhere.
Links. Friends don't let friends go unemployed. That's what Sirianni's saying. Right?
Let me tell you, man.
Sure. His boy.
Look, if this was one of you guys and I was Kevin Patullo, I would expect you guys to fire me like you're on the spot. Fire me on the spot. I have no hard feelings. No hard feelings. Because either it's you or it's me. And guess what? And the team. You trying to win. You got something that you're trying to do. So anyway, I just had to get that off my chest, man. Today was a joyous occasion. I truly enjoyed. I don't like to see people. I don't like to see people lose their jobs. But in this case, Kevin Patullo, you made your millions. I doubt you ever get an OC job ever again in your life. And I don't even know if somebody bring you on their staff if you're not in Philadelphia, because what you put out there, that speaks volumes. And so I don't even know if a high school team would hire at this point. But anyway, I appreciate Jeffrey Lurie. I appreciate Howie. Let's get Mike McDaniel, man. I digress.
I'm glad you got that off your chest. I'm glad you got that relief, that release. I hope for Eagles fans' sakes, Patullo, and I'm going to say this a certain way. I hope for Eagles fans' sake, Patullo is fired and not just reassigned within the organization.
Yeah.
And the reason why I'm saying it is, if he is no longer OC but still has some job on the offense, quarterbacks, analysts, something on those lines, that could have been done during the season.
Absolutely.
That could have been done during the season. Week 6, week 10, week 14, whatever you realize, this ain't working, and I've given it time to try to sort itself out, and it's not sorting itself out. I gotta do something. You gotta bring an analyst in. You gotta have someone else call the plays at least. He's still the OC. He's just not calling the plays. Something. Right. But nope. You're gonna roll with it, and then after the fact, it's like, yeah, we'll take away play calling duties from him, right? Like, guys, come on. So, that offense would look pretty lethal if you were able to get someone like Mike McDaniel. I hear Cliff Kingsbury is available too, so just throwing that one out there. There are some really creative OCs / previous head coaches that are available on that side of the ball. But yeah, Yeah, but this past year, that Ferrari was out picking up groceries and taking little Susie to soccer practice. I wasn't really doing what Ferraris are known to do. So
I don't even think the Ferrari was doing that. I think he hopped in the Ferrari and realized he couldn't drive a stick shift. That's what I think happened.
It's like, oh shoot.
That's exactly. He's like, how do you? This ain't a manual. Like I don't just put it and drive, right? So he didn't know what the hell he was doing. No, so look, I can't even expound any more than what you guys just did, especially you, Lynx. But I said it from week one, right? And even after when you guys beat us early in the year, like I don't take Sirianni seriously.
Yeah.
I don't think he's a good coach. I don't think he's a good head coach. I understand he won the Super Bowl. But I give that more to Kellen Moore, right? Kellen Moore had that offense. I mean, obviously,
Yeah. Yeah.
look at the offense when Kellen Moore was the OC and look at the offense now,
Yeah.
right? You had a 2,000-yard rush. You said Barkley, he rushed for 1,000 yards this season?
Yeah, he was over 1,000.
he got to 1,000. Yeah.
How?
Yeah, he got to 1,000. Yeah.
How would that even happen?
Yeah, he did that. That was the hardest 1,000 I think.
17
Yeah.
games. Stuff.
Wow. What was his
I think that-
average? What was his average?
I'll look it up.
Let me see.
Yeah, look
Yeah,
that
it
up. But
It had to be like 3.9, 3.9 or
wow.
per carry, I think.
But
Probably around.
again, the offense is night and day. So you have to give the lion's share of the credit, right, for that Super Bowl victory to Kellen Moore.
Absolutely.
Because you
Absolutely.
were blowing guys out last season. So and of
Yeah.
course the defense, Vic Fangio, the defense, yes. So give the lion's share to the coordinators.
Yes.
I don't give a lot of credit to Sirianni. I really don't.
No,
And then
I don't.
the whole thing about him being a player's coach and being able to galvanize the players. Looking at what happened the other day with him and AJ Brown, that don't look like a coach that understands and is able to relate to his players. Not at all.
No.
Not at all.
No.
Okay, so
No.
I feel bad. Well, I don't feel bad, but if I was an Eagles fan, I would feel bad of the fact that you still have Sirianni as your head coach, with
Yeah.
all of these head coaches that are now available out there.
I know.
I'm pretty
I know.
sure John Harbaugh could come in there and do a much better job than this, right?
Absolutely.
So with that said, now the question is, okay, what are you guys going to do? Who you guys going to replace him with? If I was Roseman, the decision would not be made by Sirianni.
No.
Sirianni would not be the person to pick the next offensive coordinator. No way.
No. No.
Right.
No.
So leave that to Howie. Let Howie pick the next offensive coordinator. Hopefully, he could get someone like a Cliff Kingsbury, or if McDaniels can't land himself a head coaching job, maybe get him in someone of that caliber. But
Right.
having Nick pick his boys and his friends to that can't fly no more. And then on top of that too, one more thing, right? Because you said the one thing about him making the decision now as opposed to earlier, right? How that's a lapse of judgment
Yeah.
on his part as a head
Yeah.
coach.
Yeah.
But not only that, if he decides to keep Patullo on the staff, I can't see as a player how you can take Nick seriously going forward.
Yeah. No. No.
You saw what this guy did. You saw
Yeah.
how inept the offense was, but you still moving and shaking, trying to keep him on the staff.
Yeah. No.
Now I'm looking at you and I'm like, your judgment is skewed. Your judgment
Yeah.
is compromised. I can't trust you now as a player that when you're telling me something or you're trying to, give me some sort of not really encouragement, but critical analysis on what I'm doing. I got to take that with a grain of salt now.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Right.
And you know what? Now that I'm thinking back to it, when he had promoted Brian Johnson to OC in 23, and after the season when they fired Brian Johnson, well, mid-season they fired him, and then they brought some other people in, and it was little too late. Howie Roseman did hire Kellen Moore. He did hire Kellen Moore. He Patullo, Sirianni did not have any input in that. So I think it's going to be the same thing where Howie is going to conduct the search and hire the coach. And that's how it should go. I was looking for this online while y'all were talking, and this is the letter that Sirianni put out there. He said, "I've decided to make a change at offensive coordinator." Shoot, after week 18, I met with Kevin today to discuss the difficult decision, as he is a great coach who has my utmost respect. Boy, he has been an integral part of this team's success over the last 5 years, not only on the field product, but behind the scenes as a valued leader for our players and organization. I have no doubt he will continue to have a successful coaching career. Ultimately, when we fall short of our goals, that responsibility lies on my shoulders. Let me tell you something. When he came into that meeting with Lurie and Howie, they was like, "He gone yet? Is he gone yet?" I know that's what they said right off the bat. So he had to get this out there like ASAP.
Quick.
He had to get this out there quick. I think after the game, they actually call him and they say, "Go ahead and let Kevin Patullo come in. Let him go. Let him pack up his stuff, and then you meet us in the morning." And so they had to get this together and get out. But yeah, Howie is going to conduct this search. Howie is going to get the new OC in there. This is going to be interesting to see how this all works. You know, you saw what Jalen Hurts said. He was, when they asked him if he wanted Kevin Patullo back, he was like, "I'm going to let Howie, Nick, and Mr. Lurie, I trust them to handle this situation." So anyway,
Cry for help.
Yeah,
crying for help. He was like, "Please, God, y'all get rid of him." That's what he was saying.
Yeah.
And he was saying that the fact that he put Howie's name first, because normally it's a coach's decision to get rid of stuff, but he said Howie's name first.
Yes.
And that's him looking in the camera, looking at Howie, say, Howie, help me.
Help
Please.
me, man. I need some help.
I gotta be diplomatic here, but come on.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that right there, man. That should tell you anything. Because if you knew, if a player really wanted to coach, you would be like, "Oh, absolutely, yeah, I would definitely love to have him back." So you that was telling within itself. He answered the question without answering the question. So anyway,
it's times like this I wish you all had a player like Terrell Owens back on the squad, like to really just tell it how it is.
We close, man. We got AJ Brown.
No, but AJ Brown, he's afraid.
Yeah.
Right. He's afraid of the backlash, and rightfully so. He took a lot of lashes, but Terrell,
and he was taking. Let me tell you, and on the Philadelphia forums, boy, he's taking a lot of lashes. A lot, for his performance in this game with them 3 drops. Yeah. He was taking some lashes. A lot of people that I've seen was like, "Get rid of AJ too," But I'm like, hold your horses. Yeah. Why I think I would have handled it differently, right? As a player, I would have handled it differently. Me, like I said, I even commented on one of these message boards for the Eagles. I was like, there's thousands of Americans out here that don't like their job. They go to work every day. They work. They don't like it. They wake up. They dread going into work because they're like, I hate this job. I hate the people who I'm working with. I don't really even want to be here. But I got a responsibility. And they go in and they fake it, right? And then they come home and they do what they got to do. And that's what I would have expected from AJ. To be a little bit more diplomatic when, in those situations. Everybody, take it like this. These people are making, on average, $80,000. Let's put it like that, on average. AJ Brown, you're making millions. And you're playing a football game, which is entertainment, which is your job. However, you got people out there working and busting their butts every day, that's going out there, that's doing stuff that they do not like, and they do not like their boss, and they still got to make it happen. Suck it up. So anyway, I expect him to be back next year with Patullo. Now that Patullo is gone, I think that's gonna restructure everything. And yeah, based off of what I see out here that Nick put out here, that I think Mr. Lurie and Howie said he needs to be gone, like not here anymore, because there's no way that him, AJ, Jalen, and all them could go exist in the building. Even if he's in the building, he got to be gone, man.
Question, Links. How long after that the Super Bowl with Doug? Was it Doug Peterson?
Doug
With Doug
Peterson.
Peterson.
Yeah. Mhm.
Did y'all let him go? When did y'all let him go after that Super Bowl?
It was the year after that Super
was the
Bowl.
year after,
What
right?
happened? Yeah, the year after we kind of we got to the wild card and got bounced by Tampa Bay that next year, right? And then and what happened was they asked Doug, what are you gonna do at OC? Same question. What are you gonna do at OC? And he said, I'm going to promote from within my buddy Press Taylor. And when he said that, Lurie and Howie was like, you're gone.
Get out.
That's it. And this is what they doing with Nick. They're like, that's
Yeah.
why they asked Nick that question, why they brought in my man. They brought in Kellen Moore. So this is it's the same thing. Just the same pattern that happened again. Howie's not, I mean, Nick Sirianni's not gonna have an opportunity to touch who this OC is.
Y'all actually gave Doug a couple more years.
We did after that.
Yeah. So he was 13-3 in 2017, Super Bowl champs. The
Right.
next 2 years I went 9-7. He lost to the Saints one year in the playoffs.
That was it.
Lost to the
Saints are
Seahawks
like-
the next year.
Yep.
And then you went 4-11-1.
That was it. Okay, so we gave him some time.
Mm,
We gave him
yeah,
some time.
So y'all gonna give Sirianni at least all the next year, but you might pull
Next year.
you might pull the plug a little faster
If the record, if he
Yeah,
just
if
thinks up the joint,
if he falter again, you know, with the record, I think he'll be gone for sure.
Yeah.
He'll be gone for sure. But we'll see. We'll see who they bring in at OC, man.
It's going to be interesting to see if Howie goes out of his way this offseason to make any drastic moves.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
think there's going to be a lot of moves because we got a lot of guys
Well,
that's
well,
you know,
it depends, right? Because if I'm the GM, if I'm Howie,
yeah,
right, I'm like, I did all this shaking and moving to get you this team, and this is a Super Bowl caliber team in terms of talent,
right
Yeah.
now.
right? And you've shown an ineptitude in being able to get the best out of this team. I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to go above and beyond again just to get the same result. I want to see what you're going to do with this team that we still know is a Super Bowl caliber team. If
Yeah.
you can't make, turn things around next year, then you out.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, you out. Definitely. I definitely see that. Yeah, man.
Real quick, that window's tight
It's a tight window, yeah.
because
I agree.
Because that defense got a bunch of young players who don't cost a whole bunch of
Right.
money yet.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah,
Right. Right.
So
that's right. Yeah, because I know they got a decision to make with N'Kobe Dean. N'Kobe Dean is this year, and I think Jordan Davis is coming up, and then you got Jalen Carter,
And then it's gonna hit. Yeah.
and
Got
it's
one
going.
more
Then
good year.
boy, you're gonna be in trouble. So yeah, it's a small window right there that you got to try and do something else. So it's not gonna last long for sure.
Yeah. Don't forget. Yeah. The same thing with the Rams. Their whole front four on rookie contracts right now. And
Right? Yeah. So
yeah.
you got so versus what? This is second year,
This is second year.
Okay.
second year.
He was rookie of the year last year.
Yeah.
Fisk-
And
Fisk
then
too.
yeah, and it
Fisk,
was what's
yeah,
the other?
he came in with
What's
Fisk.
the other guy?
Brian Young,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
I think this like his third year,
Yeah.
right? And Kobe Turner,
Kobe. Yeah.
the conductor. Yeah, but he's the ones who do the thing. Yeah.
Man. All right, yeah. So we will see, man. Hey, look, I really don't have to talk about these games. Really don't have to talk about these games, man. Really don't have to.
So you want to skip the games? That's what we saying?
I mean,
There were some good games. We had a whole bunch of I don't want to just. I'm not going to even talk about the Rams, right? But
Yeah.
I do want to talk about that Bears Packers game, man. We have to talk about that.
Yeah. Definitely. We definitely. I mean, we'll
We have to
touch on
talk
them real
about
quick. We'll touch on them. So, and we can touch on them. So, and I'll start from the beginning. So Buffalo Jaguar and the Jaguars. I actually thought the Jaguars was going to win this game, but Buffalo pulled it out. Pulled it out. I mean, my man pretty much lifted Josh Allen and pushed him in the end zone. I mean, push him for that first down.
That's how you do a push tush. That was a push tush.
But what's ironic is they were the ones that was trying to they wanted one of the teams that was trying to ban it, but now they're using it to their advantage, which is good. It's all good. I'm glad.
They was even using it before the whole voting thing came up. They were one of the frequent adopters along with you guys in it.
Yeah. So Buffalo, they come up with the win, man. They really shocked me because I thought Jacksonville was going to win that game, but Buffalo came out on top.
Yeah, couple turnovers by Trevor Lawrence. I mean, it was a good game. Jacksonville just came up short. I'm sure. I mean, you saw Cohen's face; he was crushed because he thought they was going to win that game. He don't want no flowers. He don't want no consolation prize. Like, he really thought they was going to move forward in the playoffs. But you got the reigning MVP, carries his team and makes plays when plays need to be made, and so Buffalo moves on.
Yeah, I mean, Josh Allen. I mean, that's all you could say. Another Herculean effort by him. I mean, he's the best, like, just skillfully and athletically and just like the command of the position. He's the best quarterback in the league. To be able to have that much responsibility, that much put on you, and to deliver, like, not a lot of quarterbacks can do that with that team.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. So next game, and I'm going to be brief with this. 49ers 23. Eagles 19. I mean, it is what it is. It's Kevin Fatula. We already talked about this. We got beat. We got beat. I'll leave it there.
Yeah. So I'll try to be nice to you. Lynx.
It's all good, man.
Defense got a couple turnovers. Got Purdy to throw the ball to you guys a couple of times, but when it came down to it, that San Fran offense was able to score just enough, and you guys couldn't. The lack of creativity on the offensive side of the ball. Going 4 verticals against cover 4.
Horrible.
So we all trust that things will be better come next season with someone else calling the plays. But tough loss for a team that has Super Bowl caliber talent. They literally went last year, and didn't change over much, but didn't get it done at home in the playoffs. So
I mean, the only silver lining, for me, is that this continues to add more value to Robert Saleh and make him even more viable as a head coach, a future head coach. Give the man a second chance. Get him out of San Francisco.
Bye.
He needs to be a head coach somewhere else, preferably somewhere in the AFC. Go back to the AFC. Just go back over there, right? But in all seriousness, though, to me, Shanahan is coach of the year.
Yeah.
Shanahan is coach of the year. Like, I really have to give, kudos to, what he's done with what he has.
Yeah.
Right. It's like you look at his offense, you look at the Eagles offense, it's like the exact opposite. Look, not just offense, defense too, in terms of the availability, the caliber of players, like what you have at your avail. Like, it doesn't make any sense for them to have the record that they have, to be in the position that they're in, and to, just beating the teams that they're beating. It's a masterful job that he's done as a head coach. So I can't stand the team, but I respect it. Right. Yeah. So, to me, he should definitely be coach of the year.
Yeah. I'm going to say one more thing on this and then we'll move on. During the game, I had my fingers crossed like this. I was like, come on, just keep the lead. Keep the lead. That's all. Just stay ahead. Because when San Francisco scored that go-ahead touchdown, you know what I said? I say, I have no faith in the Philadelphia Eagles
Yeah.
scoring a touchdown. That's exactly what I said. I said I have no faith whatsoever in the Philadelphia Eagles scoring a touchdown. I said this is over. That's what I said. Literally, when they scored that touchdown and they went up by 4 points, I was like, we can't score a touchdown. We cannot score a touchdown. We done. That's it. That's exactly what I said. So
Wow.
yeah. So anyway, yeah, we'll move on. Chargers 3, Patriots 16. I'm gonna tell you a lie. I was distraught, so I didn't even watch the game, man. I just turned everything off. The Patriots. So I'm gonna let you guys go on this and really, really talk. After our game, I kind of turned it off. So I really didn't even watch this game.
So there was a time when the NFC was known for having really good defense, and the AFC not so much. Nowadays, that is clearly not the case, because this is one of those games where the Patriots defense came to play. Now there were some windy conditions that that didn't help none, but when you only put up 3 points, so much so that the OC gets fired, right? Yeah, I mean the Patriots handled their business. They do what they do. They ran the ball when they could. Drake May was converting first downs with his feet, 10 carries for 66 yards himself. But that defense showed up and kept the Chargers out of the end zone. So they got to go back to the drawing board too. So
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest with you, both offenses didn't really play that well. Drake May, I mean, he had 268 yards. He had 1 touchdown, 1 interception. But the flow of the game, it was a lot of missed opportunities. I think the Chargers, they were like 1 for 10 third down efficiency, and on the Patriots side, I think they were like 4 for 16. Right, so it was a bad showing on both sides. So I mean, you can attribute it to both defenses playing pretty well, and the Chargers, they just kind of ran out of steam. So kudos to the Patriots. They beat a caliber team for the first time this season, right? So they beat someone of some substance. Tongue in cheek, I know they beat the Bills, right? So, but for the most part, like Doc said, the Chargers, they did end up firing their offensive coordinator. I just had his name, Greg Roman, right? They fired Greg Roman. He was a longtime offensive coordinator for the Ravens back in the day as well. Not just back in the day, but just recently, not too long ago. But yeah, Chargers was beat up. They're like the second unit on the offensive line, second and third unit.
Yeah.
Herbert running for his life, and when you get into the playoffs, man, everything gets intensified tenfold. So he didn't really have nowhere to go. They had a lot of missed opportunities because the defense did have some critical turnovers on their side of the field, like within the red zone, and Chargers couldn't convert multiple times, and that's what's going to happen. So, and it doesn't bode well for Herbert. And as much as I like him as a quarterback, he has this stigma on him about not being able to win a playoff game.
Yeah,
kind of reminds you of Matt Stafford back in the day with Detroit. But he has a good head coach. He has a good team. This time around, the team is in shambles, so you can kind of attribute some of that to that. But still, compiling all of those situations on top of each other, it still looks like you just can't get over the hump there.
Yeah. They got to get him a line, man. They definitely got to get that line.
Well, no, they got him a line. He has a line. They got hurt.
They got hurt. Yeah.
He has 2 flight tackles on both
Yeah.
sides, and they
Yeah.
both season-ending injuries. Yeah.
Yeah.
Both got hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when they get back. So Lee, your Rams, came back in fashion at the end, beating the Panthers 34-31. I didn't expect this game to go like this. I expected you guys to be more in command of this game, and Carolina just hung around. But when you got a quarterback like Matt Stafford, who I think is the MVP of the league. Actually,
Mhm.
when you got a quarterback like Matt Stafford, and you know, I heard what your other receiver said, not Puka, what's his name,
Devontae.
Adams,
yeah, Devontae
Devontae
Adams
Adams, yeah.
said in the huddle when he was like, "Let's go snatch these guys'
Snatch
hearts."
their hearts.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So when you got a quarterback that says that and he goes down and proves it and does it, yeah, you got it. And these are the types of games you're gonna get. And why I say I was a little bit surprised is because you know of the Panthers, but then I had to backtrack and say, you know what, this is the playoffs. The game raises a bit more in the playoffs, and Super Bowl winning teams, they just find a way to win, and so yeah, you know, every year, because remember last year on our run, you guys were our close game like that. It came down to the wire, right? So you're
Yeah.
gonna have one of those games. So on your path to the Super Bowl. So yeah, I thought it was a great game. Matthew Stafford, hats off, man. Just phenomenal.
Yeah. So I mean, going back to what you said about your Eagles, that last drive, not thinking that they would score that touchdown. Um, Similar situation with us, right? 2 minutes and 30 some odd seconds left. With Stafford as the quarterback, I had every confidence that he would be able to get us a touchdown. Down by 4, you need a touchdown to win. This is the guy that, like, he's one of maybe 3 quarterbacks that you can have utmost trust that they can do it, right? Not to say that they will all the time, but he's
Right.
capable.
Yeah.
So I had a lot of faith that he was going to be able to do it, and thankfully he was able to come through on that. But back to your first comment about you being surprised that the game was this close. Don't forget they beat us in week 13.
Yeah, yeah.
We had trouble with them early in the season, and it wasn't us overlooking them. They beat us down. So going into this game, I was very concerned. And before the game started, I was questioning that week 13 game. Like, why did they give us so much trouble? And so when I did that, I did some digging, and I realized that their defensive coordinator came from the Rams,
Mm,
right?
there you go.
Ejiro, I think is his name.
Yeah,
Ejiro Evero is his name. And so he was with us for like 5+ years.
okay.
So he understood our schemes, he understood our concepts.
Mhm.
So he knew how to scheme that defense against us, which is why we kept having so much trouble with them, and they were able to get a lot of those turnovers and jump those routes on us. So yeah, I knew coming in, I was very nervous, especially with the fans, and they were talking about making the stadium hype. You had Cam Newton on this thing talking about how they're going to come in and they're going to try to give the team as much momentum as possible. So it was I was plenty concerned about this game.
Yeah.
But McVay, Stafford, they were able to pull through. Puka, 2 touchdowns. He did drop one at the end of the first half, but thankfully we was able to pull this one out, man.
Yeah.
To real quickly to your point, having had the former DC, now the DC with the Panthers, helps that offense navigate your defense. Because I was surprised they weren't trying to run the ball much, and they were going through the air with Bryce Young, who had a really good game, all in all, turned for 40, 264, 1 touchdown, 1 interception.
Doc, to that point, Bryce Young and that offense has scored 30 points twice this season, and both of them were against the Rams.
Mhm. Yeah.
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 Yeah. So they did all they could, and but and again, to your point, when Carolina scored up by 4, you look and see who's the quarterback coming off the bench for the Rams. Like, yeah, they got this.
You got this, yeah.
They got this.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so, yeah. And so when you guys scored, 30, I think 38 seconds left, I was like, is that too much? Then I was like, it's Carolina's offense. Now y'all going to be fine. They're not
Yeah.
going to drive down the field and get a field goal in time. It'll be close, but they're not going to pull that one off. But
Yeah,
but
where
some,
they went wrong is, yeah, he changed his defensive philosophy on that last drive, Ejiro, right? So he went in this prevent defense,
yep,
and Stafford ate that up.
ate
Yeah.
up.
Ate it right up.
Yeah, he ate that up.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So I did not know that Ben Johnson had this like high high dislike for Green Bay. I didn't know it was this heightened. I mean, I didn't know he did not like. Is it Matt LaFleur he doesn't like, or is it just Green Bay in general? I mean, I don't know. I mean, because evident by the handshake at the end of the game, he really didn't even want to be. So the this game, man. All season I was talking about the Packers and not really being that impressed with the Packers, but they just about had this game,
Yeah.
and Jordan Love. It is what it is. I said Jordan Love throughout the season was kind of streaky, kind of like I'm not sure. He had all his receivers there. Okay, of course you were missing Micah Parsons, but it didn't look like it caused too many problems. And they were up. They had the game. I mean, what was the score? It was what 24-3 at halftime or something like that, or somewhere
Yeah.
around there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Somewhere around 21-3,
and
I
you
believe.
give up 28 points, not in the third. They scored almost all of those points in the fourth quarter.
25 points.
Are
in
you
the third.
kidding me?
25 points in the fourth quarter.
25 points in the. Come on, man. Come on. How? How does that even happen?
Jordan Love was in defending, like, so you can't put that on.
Can't put it on
Look,
him.
so Jordan Love, and as much as he's going to get criticized, right?
Yeah.
The fact of the matter is he threw for over 323. He threw for 323 yards and had 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions.
Yeah.
4 touchdowns, no interceptions, over 300 yards.
Yeah.
He did his job.
Yep.
He did his job, right? The defense let them down. Right now, I understand there's flow, there's situational, instances that came about, critical third down conversions that probably needed to be made that didn't to extend drives. I get all of that, but for the most part, you can't put all of this on Jordan Love.
Not all of it, right? But there were a lot of in that second half. There was a lot of 3 and outs. No, there was a.
That's
there
what
was
I'm saying. Yeah.
It was a
You're
lot of
absolutely
3
right.
and outs.
You're right.
And you got to find some way, and with all quarterbacks, you got to find some way. Like Matthew Stafford put it on his shoulder. If Matthew Stafford was, could take off and run or whatever it is that you got to do to get a first down to whatever, you are going to do that. So I expected more of that. I like the stats. Don't get me wrong. I like the stats. He had a great game, but I expect if you are going to be one of the top tier quarterbacks in the league, I expect you to put your team or show the fans or show somebody that I'm going to strap this up on my back when it's time for us to win, and I'm going to get this done. Even if you come up short, at least show me that you could get this done. But that's what I meant.
I put it on the head coach. Kyle Shanahan went through this with the Super Bowl with the Falcons and the Patriots, not understanding when you're up ahead what you have to do on your offense to protect your defense.
Right there.
Right. Now, hopefully Jordan Love also learns and scrambles for some first downs, moves the chains, another 4 or 5 minutes, defense gets a rest, can get a little bit more of a burst. But if you chasing around Caleb Williams all game long, and then it's a 3 and out, and you back on the field again, yeah, you ain't getting no pressure on him, right? So, and your head coach got to realize that. And when I say game plan, have plays, execute to move chains, not trying to score again per se, but you're now trying to milk that clock, get 2, 3 first downs. More importantly, for your defense to rest. I don't think they was doing that, and came back to bite them at the end.
So before we move off of this, I want to address what you said about Ben Johnson hating the Packers, right?
Yeah.
And I need, like, anyone who's not a Bears fan, who's not a Packers fan, right? This ain't about you, right? Because everyone else should take their emotions out of it. Because he doesn't really hate the Packers.
Mm.
He really doesn't.
Right.
What he is, that dude is smart.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ben Johnson, like I didn't realize how smart he was until when you read and read between the lines and see the antics.
Yeah.
Chicago fans hate the Packers.
Packers.
Yeah.
Oldest rivalry.
Therefore, oldest rivalry. Play it all up, right? So
Mhm.
there's a couple of things going on here, right? You're thinking now he has an opportunity to build a legacy like none other, right? Especially in this day and age, by being the guy that brings the Bears back to prominence while pushing down the most hated rival at the same time.
Mm.
Okay, so you got that. This is also an opportunity for Matt LaFleur to level up, right, his status by playing up to this rivalry that has now been put on this pedestal. Because before it was just so one-sided that it didn't really mean much.
Right.
Now they're staking the game every time that they play. And if Matt plays his role in this, this could be a beautiful thing for the next 10 years between these two
Champagne
very
Williams.
young head coaches. Exactly. Michigan, Ohio State.
Yeah.
Okay. So Ben is seizing the opportunity to now carve and start etching their own history in the NFL by bringing back up this long-term rivalry, bringing it to prominence, right? Playing at a high level with another team that's also playing at a high level. So yeah, I'm gonna hate the Packers. My fan base hates the Packers. These games mean something. And now it's must-watch TV. I love it. Like as a fan, you love it. If
Yeah.
you're in those fan bases, I understand. Like I get it. Like it's gonna mess with your emotions, but this is great for the NFL. And again, for Ben to do this, to seize the opportunity to take this stance with it,
Yeah.
it's smart. Genius work.
Yeah. Yeah. Good point.
I can't stand neither of them, so I really understand where Lee's coming from. Can't stand either organization.
Yeah. 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 Oh man.
Yeah.
All right. So a Monday night game, Houston Texans, the Steelers. I think at halftime it was like 7-3 or something like that. Somewhere around there. I can't remember what it was. And it was a close game. And at that point in time, and then it just exploded. Houston expected them to win. D'Amico Ryans, very, very happy to see him winning. I definitely want to see how this continues to go for them. Old man and them, it is what it is, man. They were just outmatched in this game. Houston's defense was just too much, too overpowering, too much to handle. And they come up with the win. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing the Texans move along in the playoffs and seeing what they got. I'm cheering for them. I'm rooting for them. So yeah, man, you see what they got going forward. But yeah, they handled the Steelers pretty easily.
But CJ Stroud was doing his best to keep Mike Tomlin's job and keep Aaron Rodgers playing football. He was doing his best to sabotage the Houston Texans. I say it tongue in cheek, but like 2 fumbles, interception. But that's just how good. That's how good their offense is. They put up 16 points despite CJ Stroud having a bad game. Not even a not good game, a bad game. But that defense, man, that defense kept them around that. As like, okay, well, y'all ain't gonna score points. We're gonna score points for y'all. Don't worry about it. We got you, right? 2 of them, right? And Pittsburgh defense did a great job for 3 quarters. They was just gassed by the end.
Yeah.
That's the difference. So
yeah, that surprised me because I shut it off after the third quarter because I had to get up early the next morning. And I'm like, at the end of the third quarter, it was 7-6.
Yeah.
When I woke up, I literally had to do a double take. Like I'm like 30. How that happened? But no, same thing with Kyle Shanahan, and I'm pretty sure you would co-sign on this, Lynx. I think D'Amico Ryan is another coach of the year candidate.
Yeah,
like he should have some votes come his way.
Yeah.
What he's done with this team, the turmoil, some of the you know, the way that he had to kind of navigate the waters. Shroud was out. I'm sure was out for a couple of weeks. You're missing guys. You don't have a consistent running game. You Marks and Chubb, like you know, like, and you're making it work with the defense. The defense is literally carrying this team. I won't say by themselves, but they're in the forefront,
Yeah.
and that's all attributed to him being the defensive guy.
Yeah.
So I'm very happy to see him having this success, and you know, they you know, like I said, they're one of the teams that I tapped to probably be in the AFC Championship. I thought the Jaguars would probably meet him there, but you know, good for D'Amico.
Yeah.
Good for
Yeah.
him. Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah. So all right, man. So we'll jump back on Friday, talk about these divisional games. You know, I mean the divisional games. It's gonna be exciting, gonna be good. I think we in for another weekend of close games. All the games this weekend was close. One score games except that last one. So definitely exciting to see, you know, how the NFL has the parity. So I expect that to continue for sure. So
Yeah, my blood pressure can't take too much more of this, man.
yeah,
That was not fun.
Yeah. I feel you. Yeah. All right, man.
All right.
All right.
All right,
See you
guys.
guys Friday.
See you on Friday.
Yep.
All right.